Good afternoon again. Welcome to the preview for Sha Tin. As I said, this is not much of a meeting and there's no jackpots. Probably going to have a close look at the two quartets in case we can extract some value there. I like one in both of them, so we might end up going for just a bank and a run of place. But we'll have a close look at that when we have a chat with the guys, the management guys, and we'll make a decision when the time comes. Depends whether we can get the value out of the race. That's the main concern, I think. We go to race one. We start the opening, the usual class 5. Dane South been running the other day. He's backing up 3 days. They don't do that very often and successful at it. 8-year-old now. I'll probably prefer to steer away from it, really. It'll be in the market. Global Fame's gone to Gibson now. Now he has a tendency to improve these horses fairly quickly when he gets them, especially in their early runs. So I think it might be a chance at a bit of a price. I mean, this is an awful race. Number 2, Win It. It's got a chance in this by virtue of the barrier draw, really. I think Public Figure. It's drawn badly. That's the problem with it. Same as the other one that I thought had a chance, Smart Guy. It's drawn out in 12. They've been done no favours there. Finished up 4 on top, hopefully at a bit of a price, from 2, Win It. Then 9, Smart Guy, 7, Dane South, 13, 14, 8 look best of the rest. Race 2. Solar Dragon, it's been working well. They've backed this a couple of times and it's done absolutely nothing. It's a very hard horse to catch. If you can get it out of the gates and lead, it's got a chance. If it doesn't lead, it probably hasn't got much hope. Positive Energy, it's got no form, this horse. It's never done anything, but its track work's been good. I think it'll be a bit of a price. It probably can go in and run somewhere. Peaceful Mission's the interesting one for me. They've backed this twice now. Its last run was pretty good, but from barrier 14, he's going to need an awful lot of luck from out there. I think that's the biggest concern. And the other one is Ray of Gold, which looked like it was going to win 2 starts ago, found a bit of trouble, and then franked that form at its next run and won easy. Barrier 5, Mosse. The way he's riding from barrier 5, the best we can hope for is 3 wide. And the worst is obviously 5 or 6 wide. He's doing what he did last year. He's murder. I can't go him in anything again now. So, but I've ended up with his horse basically on top by virtue of the fact that none of these are any good. Number 9, Ray of Gold on top from 2, Solar Dragon. 1, Peaceful Mission, chances to 14, Flying Keeper, 3, King of Earth, 12, Just Good, and 13, Positive Energy. We go to race 3. There's unraced, so we're not interested there. Race 4, unraced also, we're not interested there. We go to race 5, the quartet race. I think the top weight's ready to win now. He's had the 3 runs. He's run second at his last 2. He probably should have just about won both of them. He's got beaten the nose and then half a length when he looked like he was going to win. He went a little bit too early, and that cost him the race. He didn't need to go. He's got the perfect draw just to get the suck right into the race. If he sits and waits to the 300, it'll win. 2, Oscar Miracle. Looks one of the main dangers, got a beautiful draw. It won well last start, up on the speed, so the barrier draw is going to help it again. So they look the 2 main chances on the win line. Behind that, there's quite a few that could possibly run a place. 8, Champion Ranger, it's improving slowly. Great Pegasus, although probably the dirt might be a bit better. Floral Man, that gangster, he'll be back, but he'll be running on again. Penny Lane, Eternal Gains, Amazing Gift, Croatia. So there's quite a few in the race that could fill a hole here, but I think the winner is out of 1 and 2. So I've got 1 on top ahead of the 2. chances to 8, 4, 6, and probably 12 as the main dangers, and then 5, 9, and 10 sort of on the third line. We go to race 6. Boy oh boy was good last start. He's given it 7 weeks off, which is a bit of a concern. Track work's been mediocre at best. Always worry about things like that. Glorious Rider, he's given it 8 weeks off, but its track work has been good. So Barrier 5, Deleuze, probably leads slightly to it. Red Dancer keeps threatening to win, gets to the position, looks like it's going to go straight past them, and then the cat side of it kicks in and it gives it away. It'll be well in the market again from Barrier 1, but it's a weak crab. Keen Tactics, badly drawn. Ambitious Champion, went for this a couple of starts ago, went poorly. It's got a good draw. Mosse goes on, Senior Rider, maybe from Barrier 3. Can't get it out too wide. It's a fairly ordinary race with not a lot of depth. 12 on top from 5 and 1, chances to 10, 4, 2, and 9. Race 7, Key Witness, terrific win last start. Put him away fairly quickly. This is no harder. It's the one to beat. The draw probably doesn't help, but it'll be there. Go One Leader, it won by virtue of that ridiculous day a couple of weeks ago where they were all over the track and some went inside, some went outside, and this thing come from nowhere along the rails where everything was going looking for the outside fence. Star of Bond, it's in good form. Tarzan I Am, Sparkling Beat, and Cheers Joy. It's not a race with a lot of depth. 10 on top from 4 and 11, chances to 1, 2, and 5. We go to race 8. Now this is the Hong Kong Macau Challenge. You can virtually put a line through most of the Macau horses. They hardly ever come to Hong Kong and win. This time they do win on their own ground against the Hong Kong horses, but the reverse fixture this year went to Noble Alpha. I think Super Lifeline's too good for these. It's well weighted with 53 kilos. It's the one to beat. Winning Leader and Penglai Xianzi, by virtue of the barrier draws, must go in. Flash Knight, Majestic Falcon, Noble Alpha, and Destined for Glory. That looks it. As I say, no liking for any of the Macau horses. Their form doesn't hold up that strong when they come over. 9 clearly on top from 6, 5, 7, 11, 8, 1. Race 9. Berlini was terrific when it won first up. Was well in the market a couple of weeks ago, played up at the barriers and they took it out. It's worked well since. It obviously took no harm from whatever the problem was. I think it hit its head on the gates. I've got number 12, Berlini, clearly on top. From 5, Packing La Bière. Had 2 runs now. I think it's getting close. This is a reasonable horse. Supreme Essence, Golden Deer. This is an interesting one. New trainer. I'll be giving it a close look. Marble Tribe, Jager, Bond, Grimmy, and maybe Holy Angel, Holy. But 12 clearly on top from 5 and 6 and 13. Chances to 2, 14, 7 and 8. We go to the last race, a Class 2. There's a few of these trying to get into the Derby. Cabayan was impressive last start. Steps to the 18 again. Barrier 11, he's going to have to go back. But I think it's got a terrific chance to win this. And he needs to win this to get the points to get in. So no risk there. 14, Jolly Victor. This was dead set stiff last start. This should have beaten them all. He's got it blocked all the way down the straight. Never going to crack at him. I think it's the one to beat, although the jock worries me. But 52 kilos is a plus. Flame Hero, Mr. Nocky and Travel Band. They look the obvious ones. There doesn't appear to be a lot of depth here from a quartet point of view because these are going to be all the ones in the market, along with Delwari, which was a terrific run first up. It's worked super since. It could be the blowout horse that may just have the scope to improve to beat some of these. I think probably it's probably got more scope than some of them because it's only had the one start here. Its form in Europe was at 18 to 2,000 metres, so it's the right trip for it now. I've got 5 on top. I think this has got a bit of ability, Cabayan, to beat 14 Jolly Victor, 10 Del Worry. Then on the next line, I've got 11 Flame Hero, 4 Mr. Nocky, Travel Band, Beauty Flame. They look the only ones that could probably run first, second, and third. They'll probably run 1, 2, 3, 4. What order? That's another question. But the only other two I'd probably consider throwing in for fourth would be 12 and 9. Pretty tough race, a lot of depth, and they're all looking for. Most of them are looking for a start in the Derby, so they need to show something here. But 5 on top from 14 and 10, 11, 4, 6 and 2. Good luck if you play. As I said, we're going to have a chat this evening and see whether we think there's any value. There's no TT or 6-up action. That's certainly out. Haven't found anything I like from a parlay point of view, so we're probably not playing there. There's no value in the Quinellas. Most of the horses that we like are well in the market, so we're not going to play that type of Quinella. The only thing that's under consideration is the 2 quartets, and we may well have a banker to play one out at the front or to run 1, 2. So we'll have a close look at that and see how that sort of evolves. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and good luck if you're playing on the weekend.